Hi all and welcome to my latest video. Now I wasn't expecting to make another video so soon, but I had to really because I've got a bit of a rant, and it's to do with delivery. Now, to be fair to My Hermes, and that's what this rant's about, I've used them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, so you've got to put this into context. I've sent hundreds and hundreds of parcels with them, and they've all gotten there safely. I've not had really any issues with them. There's been the odd parcel, I think, that may have gone missing, but even that I can't be certain of. I'm pretty sure most of my dealings with My Hermes have been very straightforward, and lots of people use them happily, and they're very good value for money considering what you get. Track delivery for items under a kilo for, was it £2.78? That's not bad. It's very good actually. However, just in one evening, I mean, maybe it's just bad luck, maybe it's just like buses, but just in one evening I've had two identical complaints, pretty much identical complaints from two different customers, and both of those complaints revolved around the package being thrown over a 6 foot tall fence whilst the customer was out, because the customer wasn't at home, so they just tossed the parcels over the fence. Now, in one case it's been okay, it's not a problem because it was a well packaged game console. It was a Nintendo DS, so it was a portable game console, and it was well packaged, fine, everything was good, and it survived. However, the outer packaging obviously did take a bit of a knock being flung over a 6 foot fence, and the customer thought it was a big enough deal to message me just to let me know that everything's fine, the item is great, but they're in the middle of a complaints process with My Hermes for having the parcel tossed over a 6 foot fence, and should My Hermes contact me, that I should obviously corroborate their story, which obviously I would do. Now, my second parcel wasn't so lucky, and the second parcel was actually a coffee machine that I just spoke about in my last sales video. It was a Gaggi espresso coffee machine, which I bubble wrapped the crap out of, put it in a nice sturdy box. It wasn't moving. The only thing I could possibly say is maybe I should have just not taken any risk and double boxed it, but what's happened is, unfortunately, they have tossed a coffee machine which was clearly labelled as heavy. It was greater than 5 kilos, and they've tossed it over a 6 foot fence, and the result is it's damaged. It's partly damaged the machine. Customers actually sent me photos of the outer box, how it was all crushed on one side, and then inside how luckily it wasn't major damage. It just seems to be mostly confined to a cracked knob on the side that controls the steam. However, still, it's not how you expect a parcel to be treated, especially one that's heavy. It's just common sense. You wouldn't just toss it over a fence. But obviously, when you're being paid per parcel, and you've got loads of parcels to deliver, these guys just want to get their parcels out and delivered. Now, it is tracked, but I didn't go for the signed for option, so it could just be construed as my fault. But for having two in one evening of parcels being flung over a 6 foot fence, it's pretty bad, and it's kind of annoying. I mean, I just can't. If you're gonna do something, you should kind of do it right. Like when we package items as eBay sellers, if we don't package something really well, then you do think, oh, it's kind of your fault. You can't expect the Royal Mail or Hermes or whoever else to baby your parcel. But there are certain points. There should be certain responsibility, with the carrier. I mean, even if you double box an item, if the company's full of people that enjoy kicking your parcel with steel toe cap boots all the way through its delivery through the system, if they show that lack of respect, then even the most well packaged items have a bigger chance of arriving damaged because of the unnecessary abuse. I can understand getting shunted around in the back of a lorry and things like that, but to just and the thing is, it's the impression that it leaves the customer. Now, if the customer knows that they weren't in when the parcel was delivered, and they know that the only way they could have delivered it is by chucking it over a fence, then they know that's how you've treated their parcel. Now, I'm sure the Royal Mail treat our parcels just as badly. I'm sure when they go into the sorting offices they get kicked around, whatever, but we don't get to see that. We don't actually have that. The only impression we get is of the mailman who comes and passes you the parcel, asks you to sign for something or whatever, or when you're not in, they leave you a card to say that it's at the neighbours or it's at the local sorting office. That's what you see as an end user, you know. But when Hermes drivers are just so blatantly treating your parcels like crap, it's kind of it's just bad. It's just bad, and I'm now in a real quandary. I'm seriously thinking, do I ignore all the hundreds and hundreds of successfully delivered parcels, or do I act on the basis of these two items? And they couldn't be more different. One's very light, one's very heavy. Values, yeah, about 30-ish, about 100-ish. So they're different items, and they've both been treated equally appallingly. And I kind of just feel a bit disappointed, I suppose. And I don't want an unhappy customer, because at the end of the day, the customer is now going to not that they'll blame me. They seem to be quite happy, but it was my decision to use Hermes, and I feel let down because of that. But obviously, no one was pointing a gun to my head and telling me to use Hermes, so I do understand that as well. So, as you can tell, guys, I'm a bit deflated by this, but it's just one of the things you have to deal with, and I'm now seriously considering just paying the extra few pence, because the price difference isn't even that big anymore. If you're paying for postage via Royal Mail, okay, it's not tracked, but it's £2.80 versus £2.78 for Hermes. And if you go for tracked second class, it's about £3.30, I think, for under a kilo. So under 2 kilos, sorry. So it actually works out okay. And plus, I believe with Royal Mail, when you have that as your method, it will say delivery within 2 to 3 days, whereas Hermes is classed as an economy delivery on eBay, so it states that your delivery time is longer. So maybe it may help sway a few more people in that sense. So I'm seriously considering just dropping them and going with Royal Mail. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this matter, because obviously it affects all of us. Because I know a lot of UK resellers do use My Hermes. I hope I gave a fair explanation of what's happened, because obviously I've got to try to remain fair about it. It's no point just ranting brainlessly. That's it really. So if you guys have anything to add, please leave it in the comments section and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys next time.